What's good, YouTube? We're back here with another epic video. I can't do this shit for like as a joke. This just sounds atrocious. Jesus fucking, how did they do it back in the day? Anyways, this is another video. This is about Smash 4 and Japan, and partially Ultimate, just because I have to like, I think I need a frame of reference to really talk about Smash 4 if I'm gonna talk about it. And yeah, I feel like I can't even like shove in much of an intro here because it's just like that straightforward. I think Japan's been a pretty like it's been an interesting region in Smash, but also like it's one of the big three super regions, so it's gonna have a history regardless. Might as well just get into like what Japan is in Smash Ultimate. If I don't know which like audience this shit is gonna reach, if it reaches the old heads or if it reaches the Ultimate people or whatever. But I have to explain, Japan in current day is just like the best. Like there's no way to explain it. These four players, Doramigi, Akola, Hurt, Mia, these are the four like goats right now. There's no other like good way to put it. I should have put their names on there, but like if you know ball, you know ball. Oh god, excuse me. Doramigi, this guy is like insanely talented for like how young he is. Literally born like after Michael Jackson died. Best player in the world right now, probably for the full year too. I'm like making this about a month before the rankings come out. I'd be very shocked if this kid isn't like the best for 2025. Like he's just a very accomplished player, very insane. Akola has like some of the stupidest like numbers I have ever seen. I think it's like, I might double check this like in a second, but I'm very sure he has like only one double-digit placement throughout like 4 or so years of competing. If so, that is just like, okay, yeah, you're kind of beyond crack. That's like Armada levels of shit. Like, and this kid's like just starting his career out. He is going to like eclipse MK Leo in terms of legacy within like a couple years, I feel. Like it's a very insane track run right now. The Glaze knows no bound. The Glaze knows no bound. That's a tongue twister of a sentence. The Glaze knows no bounds. This kid's just like incredibly insane. Hurt. It's hard to glaze Hurt because he is kind of like the potential man of these four. But at the beginning of 2025, he was just looking like he was the best player ever. Then he literally got banned for using mods because I guess Japan is like very serious about this shit. But he is like he is in this big four conversation, like very certainly. It's just like hard to say. It's hard to like gas him up as much as the others because he is just like not like, I can't even say less proven because he's like still like third. So it's just like it's hard. He's definitely like amazing, but he's like the Snake GOAT at this current moment in time. Won like multiple super majors with Snake. Very insane. And then Mia, it's like Mia is Mia. Currently has the most majors ever won in Smash Ultimate. I don't know if that like, I don't know if that means he has like the most majors in any game overall, but he has like, it's some crazy number, like 30 something, and he's like only 18 or some shit like that. Like he kind of just farms everyone. He goes to every single tournament in Japan. He goes to like every single tournament in America and like farms it outside of like a very select group of players. And he's just like very insane with Mr. Game & Watch. But these four are like the dons of current day Ultimate. These are like, as I said, the top four for this year. The top four, they were the top four this summer. Gonna be the top four like at the end of this year. There's no bounds to what these guys can do, and they're all from Japan. So it's very crazy that this region just is like has this many like tippity top level competitors. And then you go a bit further. Oh, this region has like a million consistent series going on. You have Sumabato, has been going on for a long time. Legacy series, Saibugeki. I think this is what like, I want to say it's one of the newer ones. It might not be. I'm not like 100% tapped into ult like that. You have Ult Core, you have Kowloon, you have Kagaribi, Impact Major, Umebura, like, these are all very consistent tournament series happening. Like, some of these vary, like, some of these are once in a while. I know Umebura is, like, more rare, but, like, some of these are happening, like, monthly. And most of these are, like, a lot of these are hitting major status, whenever they come around. Maybe, like, a bit lower than, like, major, but these are consistent majors in Japan. And it gets kind of insane because you also had, like, Kagaribi before. The largest Smash Ultimate tournament, not largest, but, like, most stacked, statistically. Just an insane, like, depth of players all in one area. The very first Super Premier tournament. So, like, the tournaments in Japan, they're kind of fire. And because of that, if you're in Japan, you're kind of, like, set to go. Oh, I'm spoiling a bit on the right side. Oopsie. Yo, ignore that. But, about half of the current top 50 for this half year is Japanese. I think I should have counted, like, how many Americans there are, but it's definitely, like, more Japan than America at this point. And I'd almost, like, go to say more Japan than North America even, because there's simply, like, a huge number of Japanese players that are, like, doing it big at this current moment in time. So, like, you kind of need to be going to Japan, going to all of these tournaments if you actually want a good shot at, like, making the rankings, the top 50 at least, because I'm pretty sure most of these players went to Kagaribi. There may be, like, one or two exceptions, but, like, pretty much everyone was there. Not everyone, like, did amazingly, but, like, they went to Japan during that Golden Week and kind of just did what they could to make that ranking. It's like beyond important to go to Japan now. So with the way I'm describing Japan in current day, I think it'd be safe to say that this is the it region for Ultimate right now. Like, compared to North America and Europe, it's doing better than North America. Europe is kind of always going to be Europe, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Europeans, that's just, like, the way it is. But Japan in current day, very, very cracked region. But if you go back, way back when, not decades ago, like 1 decade ago, and you look at that Smash 4, it was a bit tighter. Like, it was a lot tighter. First of all, you only had 4 players who ever, like, ranked within the top 10 during Smash 4, being Abadango, Renai, Komurakiri, and Ken. These are all, like, incredibly amazing players, by the way. But it's pretty funny that not a single Japanese player was able to crack top 4 during all of Smash 4's lifespan. But in current moment, like, all of Ultimate's top 4 players are Japanese. Like, I had a joke I was gonna say, but now I can't remember the joke. Yeah, each of these players, like, they kind of had their era. Abadango was very, very, like, solid during the early years of Smash 4. Kind of, like, waned off a bit during, like, the later years, but it was still, like, a very formidable top 15 player throughout the whole game's lifespan. And I think I don't remember if he still competes in Ultimate, but he did have, like, a very long stint in Ultimate too. So, like, props to Abadango, one of my favorite players, honestly. Renai, I don't even know if, like, people nowadays know who the fuck Renai is, which is, like, kind of sad, kind of funny. But Renai was, like, the first person to ever make Villager a real character. Kind of just, like, ran the bag. That's not a real, like, phrase. But he got in his bag during early Smash 4. Had a lot of, like, very incredible placements. Third at Genesis. I think that was, like, the first Genesis back too. Really made a name for himself. One of the few Japanese major winners as well. So, oh yeah, these 3 players did win majors. Komurakiri somehow did not. Speaking of Komurakiri, another Smash 4 legend. I think he quit, like, right as Smash 4 was, like, coming to a close, but very, very consistently was in that, like, was a very consistent top 8 goer for most of Smash 4's lifespan. Ranked within the top 10, like 2 or 3 times before alt started. Dear God. But just one of the most consistent Cloud players that Smash 4 had. Well, really only behind like the big hitters, the Tweaks, the MKLeos. He was like always the third guy. I'm kind of surprised he never did win a major, but he came incredibly close for like most of the time. And there's also Ken. Ken is Ken. I kind of want to talk about Ken more later. But I also really like Ken. He has a very interesting trajectory. Also Kameme. This season was really funny because this was the one where Kameme just showed up to Evo and hit a bunch of people with the Mega Man Lemons into Footstool into up tilt combo. And nobody knew what to do about it, and it was really, really funny just watching him do that to like every single top 10 player alive. But yeah, he came like really close to top 10 once. Only got 11th, but like still one of the Smash 4 GOATs, one of the ultimate GOATs as well. But yeah, things were a lot more dire in terms of majors way back in the 2010s. But these were all of the majors that took place in Japan during Smash 4's lifespan. Dear God, that's a bit of a juxtaposition, isn't it? You had the Umebura FAT, Umebura Nico Nico Qualifier, Umebura SAT, Nico Nico Tokaigi Champion, Nico Nico Tokaigi 2017, and 2018, I might as well just mention that. Umebura Japan Major, Evo Japan, and Umebura Smash 4 Final. 8 majors. 8 whole majors over the grand, like, 4.5 years that Smash 4 was a real game. That's pretty damn bad. I can't even, like, pretend about that. In 2025, the first half of the year, there were 8 majors in Japan for Smash Ultimate. Like, that is, like, the difference we're talking about now. I know that it's, like, there are generally more majors in Ultimate, but it's still crazy that we're getting, like, that many majors in Japan compared to, like, back then. And most of these, like, weren't even won by Japanese players, which is another crazy thing. A lot of it was just, like, international talent invading and coming for, like, the one time. The only ones that were actually won by Japanese players were Umebura Nico Nico Qualifier, which was won by Renai. You can see it, like, right here. And Umebura SAT, which was won by Ken, who was actually defending home turf from, I think it was Nairo and the Buzz. So they, like, Japan could stand on its own sometimes. Oh, I guess, I'm also won Umebura Smash 4 Final, but there were also no international players there. So, I mean, it is still, like, an incredible win. It's just, like, it's not compared to the field. And it's also, like, late Smash 4. Late Smash 4 was kind of odd. But yeah, it was, like, pretty dry for the most part. And because it was pretty dry, a lot of Japanese players did not really get ranked. Where are the numbers? Numbers are right here. Oh yeah, okay. Very first PGR, pretty much no Japanese players, and it kind of got a bit better later seasons. PGR V3, it was like, whoa, there are a lot of players here. But for the most part, there were only like 10 or so Japanese players that ever like got ranked per season. The big thing with V3, this was a season where there were just a bunch of tournaments in general, and a bunch of Japanese players were actually able to come out, especially for Civil War. You had like insane numbers, and you had insane things like T making top 3. Like, T is my go, I love T. But that just, like, dude, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, I have regained my train of thought. But yeah, it just meant that a lot of Japanese players were not able to, like, really show up in the way that they were supposed to. Even though T got 3rd here, it only, like, came into a 32nd, like, for that season. And he did not get ranked again until the PGR 100 after that. And I think one of the good things about like a lot of Japanese players actually did get recognition through the PGR 100 just because it was a lot more balanced to regional results. And so you saw like a lot of like Japanese depth players get like, I guess, better placements in the PGR 100 when they like, some of them didn't even get like a regular numbered PGR ranking before. So I think that was like a good way to like address that. I lost my train of thought again. I need to stop doing this. But yeah, and I think the thing that really made me want to make this is there were 2 players that won majors that just like kind of didn't get a lot of recognition for it, and those were Ken and Kirihara. Ken, the Smash 4 Japan Go, I didn't even point out back here, but Ken, the highest ranked Japanese player ever. That's so thin. I gotta make that thicker. Ken, the highest ranked Japanese Smash 4 player, finishing 9th in the PGR 100, and kind of just the GOAT of Japan. He won, I literally just said the tournament, but he won that Umebura SAT over, I believe it was Nairo and Dabuz. And that was like, those were the top 3 players at the time, which is very, very insane. And that still only like netted him 19 in the world. So I thought about that for a bit, and I was like, it kind of makes a bit of sense because he didn't have a lot of results outside of that. You can literally see in the graphic right here. He like the only other major he had that year was Evo. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to judge him, but at the same time, he's like beating the best in North America. Like, I think that's worth something. And the same thing kind of goes for Kirihara, because I was just like, I was thinking back and was like, this Kirihara fellow was like pretty damn good at the game and got like 19th in the season where he won a major, double eliminating the best player in the world. And I just thought about like, this seems very wrong. In like a, not like a, I feel like I'm being like, someone's pulling the wool over my eyes with it. So there's something wrong with these numbers, because he had like one bad result, a 13th, and that's not even like bad. There were like top 10 players that had worse results than that, and his set record against the top 10, 5-5. It's not amazing, but it's not like, that's expected for a lot of players. So now I'm thinking like, is this like the most snubbed player of all time? Like, these are insane. Not insane victories, but very strong victories, strong placements, and it's kind of just like a lack of an inability to travel that's kind of stopping it. That's kind of stopping him from just being like amazing, and that also extends to someone like Choco, who, if nobody knows, just didn't travel for a like very, very long time. I think the only time he ever like played an American tournament was Evo 2018. After all of the rankings, and he literally made rankings from only playing in Japanese tournaments, and that like he kind of like farmed Japan for several years. It's hard to explain like how consistent he was in region, because at the time a lot of Japan wasn't really performing consistently in region either. Abadango, like for instance, he really was not winning a lot of stuff in Japan despite being like easily top 3 Japanese player. So like Choco was kind of just going to everything and beating like a lot of big name Japanese players in region, and like also like the players that were traveling internationally a lot, like Komurakiri Ken. Like that was just very insane. Like you really had to be in the States to like make rankings, unless you're just like cracked out of your mind like Choco was. And to add on top of that, is there something that you noticed between all 3 of these guys? I wonder what that is. Yeah, I don't think it shows it on this one, but sponsors back then were also pretty like sparse. Ken never got sponsored during any of Smash 4. Looking back for the 3rd time at this shit, yo, I can't swear on this, my bad. But looking back at this, he is the only top 10 player that like never got sponsored. All of these other guys, like, even if it doesn't say it's sponsored, they were like pretty well sponsored for like most of Smash 4. Ken was doing everything that he was. He was playing in the most difficult era of Smash 4 with no sponsor, like doing all this shit with with like his own money. And I think that's one of the most insane things I've ever like had to think about. Because during this era of Smash 4, there were like 3 or so majors every week, and it was like true ass majors. I'm not talking about those ultimate majors now. Don't even get me started on those ultimate majors now. But this is like, they're like 9 out of 10 top players like going to every single one of these. Yeah, this is like the most important tournament for rankings ever, and he's doing it with like no money. I'm like, what is going on? This guy was cracked out of his mind in like 2017. I'm sorry, no more glaze, but absolute glaze. What the fuck? This guy was just cracked beyond his mind. I think that's all I really had to say. But yeah, I think that's the most I wanted to go over. Japan was just like very different back then, and I think it's very funny to see it nowadays. I was gonna try and like think of a rationale for like why it's changed like this, but I think the reason is literally just like Japan infrastructure is way too good, and like the economy in the United States isn't very good right now, if you didn't know that. And you can literally just go anywhere in Japan because the trains there are good, and it's like so dense and small, so that helps like everyone go. And so they just like make they create majors out of like I don't know, just like any event, compared to like, oh, if you're in the US you need to like book a 4-hour flight that costs like $500 if you didn't think about it. So I think it's like it's that. It's also like Smashmate. I know like I'll go back to the left, whatever. All these 4 players, I'm pretty sure each of them was like farming Smashmate for a period of time, and so that's how they got to the place that they were. But yeah, I think it's just really cool to see that Japan is bossed up like that. And I was just reminiscing about Smash 4, because I reminisce about Smash 4 a lot. Yeah, let me know if the video good, or if yeah, like, subscribe and comment if you please.